Yeah, we'll change it on American Rancher too, but it's P-R-O.
P-O-R-T-E-R.
Traditional quarters.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second, they're almost there.
Yeah. All right. Ready when
What do
you
you
are.
think? Okay. So, some of this will be repeat what you did in the summer, but we'll be on the
Okay.
uniform background. But so, say your name, where you're from, and then just kind of describe your cattle operation. Don't mention CattleMax, but just describe
Okay.
what it is that you do.
Okay. I am PJ Porter. I'm from central Montana, a town named Stanford. My family's been in the cattle business since 1912 when my great-grandpa homesteaded 6 miles east of where our ranch is right now. And we've had cattle this whole entire time. I'm 4th generation. I live on the ranch with my mom and dad and my sister, brother-in-law, and my niece and nephew. And we run about 450 mama cows and raise horses as well. And so.
Very good. So, why did you get into ranching, or you said you were raised there, but why did you stay in it?
I think the reason I am a rancher is honestly, I think it's in my blood. I've known it since the day I was born. I've been around it with my grandpa, my dad. I left the ranch for a while and worked at other jobs, but the ranch always called me back, and that's where I wanted to be. I just like being a part of agriculture and being able to be outside with the cows and knowing that we're raising something that the whole world depends upon. And I just take pride in that and just where my heart is.
Probably answers that and why you raise cattle. So, how important is record keeping, do you think, to your operation?
In our operation, record keeping's very important because I just don't think you can manage what you can't have records on. You don't know how to cull your cows unless you know what kind of calves they wean, or if you keep track of their temperament or health issues they've had. I mean, in what land we have, we want to have the best cows running on it as we can, and the record keeping just helps keep those cows on top of their game, make sure we have the best producers doing their job for the least amount of input. So that's why we use it. It just makes life a lot easier, and all of us have access to it. So,
and repeat this question kind of back, but what I say is, what would you say to ranchers who think they can eyeball these things and know cow history and which cows to cull and how much they weigh?
yeah.
So I would say to ranchers who don't think they need records, this.
Okay. So ranchers that don't think they need records, I probably may have been one of those years ago, but as I've gotten older, even though I know my cows, kind of like I know people, I recognize them out in the pasture, I still might not be able to think, oh, what kind of calf did she have last year? Or, what did she do when this happened? Or I just lost my train of thought. I was like, I had a really good thought going. Oh, crud. Why did they not keep records? Crud. It left me.
Get some weights, or think they can eyeball.
Oh, yes, guessing weights. Yes, we always have a weight contest with our cows. And, everybody, you kind of think your cows might weigh this and whatever. We started weighing ours. And so every year we have a contest and guess the weights. And we were all within 100 to 200 pounds off. We thought they were smaller than they were. So now our goal is kind of to get that frame size down a little bit, make them a little more efficient. And that was a few years back, and we've already gained on that. Our weights have been dropping consistently over the last few years, and our calves are actually getting bigger. So it just fun things that you can easily keep track of. Import your weights, boom, get an average, you know what this year's cows weighed, you know what their calves weighed. It just makes life a lot easier.
I want to kind of let you make a phrase that is like, we had all of us that had all these years experience,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so that we started doing these weighing contests.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had all of us who had all these years of experience,
Uh-huh.
and we were missing it by, what'd you say, 100 pounds?
Uh-huh.
Can I go back through that
Oh,
phraseology again?
yeah.
That was good.
Oh, okay.
But I want to emphasize we've got all, because that's what we hear.
Uh-huh.
When you see it, they go, well, I know how much my cows weigh.
Yeah.
My God, you know?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But
So one reason I think you should keep records is just a point that was proved on our ranch is we always thought we could just look at 400 cows and guess what their average weight might be. Well, when we got our scale, we thought we're going to have our own family competition and weigh our cows and take an average. We were all off between 100 and 200 pounds because our cows were way bigger than we suspected they were. So then our goal was to kind of drop that size down and get a little bit smaller, more efficient cows that raise the same size or bigger calves, and it's working in our program now because we keep track of those weights. So just a neat thing to be able to do.
So what did you use for record keeping before CattleMax?
Just handwritten sheets, and then usually once we'd have those written down, sometimes they get put into Excel, sometimes they wouldn't, but the Excel got so cluttered with worksheet after worksheet after worksheet, and then you try to keep track of years of data for cows that, you know, hit that 10-year mark or whatever. You might have some that are even older than that. It gets to be really poor and not efficient. What got you using CattleMax? I can't even remember exactly what. I'm pretty sure I must have seen it on the computer somehow or another, but I instantly downloaded it and started using it, and I fell in love with it. I just thought it was so neat to be able to have each cow's ID individually and be able to see the history of her and her calves and breeding records, because we have an extensive AI program, and just to be able to look and see who she was bred to this year, what the calf was last year's results, year before that, kind of see what she has a calf to according to what bull she's bred to, worked out really well for us.
I'm going to go just another angle with the same thing, but how important is CattleMax to your operation?
CattleMax is kind of partly like the air I breathe. I have to have it every day. It's on my phone. If I don't have cell service where I'm at with my cows, I feel kind of lost, because there's always something now. When I'm driving through my cows or riding through them, I always notice a missing ear tag or a cow that has a drippy eye or maybe limping. I always open up my phone, put it in there, and I can later go home, print out that note sheet that I had written from that day, and then a few days later go check on those cows again, because I'll have those records written down. And my family, they have access to it. If they see something or need to know what pasture a certain animal belongs in, they can just pull it up and see, because we have multiple pastures. So.
Cool. All right, so you got a busy life. What made you want to join the CattleMax team?
The reason I joined CattleMax is I think I was one of those customers that was always questioning and emailing and wanting to know why this did that. Can you change this to do this? Maybe could we add this to do that? And then they put a job advertisement out, and I thought, well, that would be kind of cool, you know. So I applied for it and I got it, and so now I'm part of the team and I love it. I love waking up every morning and getting to help other ranchers out with problems they're having with their management and help them fix it and get back on track again.
If you were to use the phrase, I can't imagine, with the inference being, I can't imagine being without this, having to do with CattleMax, what would you think of? I can't imagine, and say the word I can't imagine.
Like, I'm not getting what you're meaning.
Well, I'm sorry. Like I say, I can't imagine not having CattleMax to go out and check pastures.
Oh,
or do, like,
yeah.
processing on daily.
So like the
basis.
most important part of
Yeah,
CattleMax to me?
Yeah, that would be a good way to think about it. Would you say I can't imagine?
Okay, I can't imagine the ranch going on without the breeding record part of CattleMax. With our AI sires we use, different herd bull groups, it would be a whole lot of papers to keep track of all that. And now you can just click on a button and go, okay, that's who I bred her to and that's the day she's gonna calve. We couldn't live without that.
Awesome. Got it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, piece of cake.